This is a bottle of oat milk, but it's also a ticket to a multi-billion-dollar game, a game that's predicted to be worth over $10.8 billion by 2032, a game run by giants. So can a totally new idea, born in a kitchen, actually compete? Can a tiny player survive, let alone win, in one of the craziest industries on Earth? We are about to find out. If you've been in a grocery store or a coffee shop, you've seen this everywhere. Oat milk. It has absolutely exploded from a weird health food thing into a global obsession. But to get how insane this challenge is, you have to understand the sheer size of this industry. The global oat milk market was valued at around $346 billion in 2024, and it's on a rocket ship to hit over $10.8 billion by 2032. That's a growth rate of over 15% every single year. To put that in perspective, this one little corner of the plant-based milk world is growing at an incredible speed. So why the explosion? It's a perfect storm. First, health. A huge part of the world's population can't drink regular milk, and others are cutting back for health reasons. People want options with no cholesterol and less fat, and oat milk is the perfect answer. Then, sustainability. This one is huge. Compared to dairy, making oats is way better for the planet. It uses way less water and land and makes fewer greenhouse gases. For a new generation of shoppers who care about the planet, that's a massive deal. And finally, taste and texture. This is oat milk's secret weapon. Other dairy alternatives can be watery or taste weird, but oat milk is famous for being creamy and neutral. That makes it a total game changer. People don't just tolerate it, they love it, especially in coffee where it froths up just like dairy milk, making it a favorite for baristas everywhere. This combo of health, sustainability, and amazing taste has created a gold rush, but that much growth, that much money, gets people's attention. And that means competition. This isn't just a game, it's a war for every single inch of shelf space, and it's being fought by titans. So, you think you can make a better oat milk? Cool. Now you just have to compete with them. We're talking about global food giants, brands like Danone, which has Silk and Alpro, the Campbell Soup Company, which has Pacific Foods, and Chobani, the yogurt company that used its brand power to take over the oat aisle. These aren't just companies, they're empires with unlimited money, insane marketing budgets, and the power to put a product in tens of thousands of stores overnight. They have entire armies of scientists creating new flavors and options for every single person. They can lose money on a new product for years. They have the power to buy up all the best shelf space in the grocery store, pushing little brands like us to the bottom, or completely off the shelf. And then there's the brand that basically started it all, Oatly. Oatly's story is one of the craziest marketing plays ever. They didn't just sell oat milk, they started a whole cultural movement. First, they skipped the crowded stores and went straight to the coolest coffee shops. They made a barista blend, just to win over the people who would become their biggest fans, the baristas. By getting these influencers to love their product, they created demand from the ground up. People would try it in their latte, love it, and then go searching for it in stores. The demand got so crazy that during shortages in 2018, people were selling single cartons online for as much as $25. That's not just a product, that's a phenomenon. Oatly, Califia Farms, Planet Oat. These brands own the market. They have the supply chains, the brand recognition, and millions of loyal customers. They've spent hundreds of millions of dollars building their empires. So the question is terrifyingly simple. How can you, with an idea you came up with in your kitchen, possibly compete with that? You have no factory, no trucks, no million-dollar marketing budget. On paper, it looks impossible. It looks like the game is already over. But what if there's still a gap? What if the giants, with all their power, missed something? And this is where it all started. Not in some giant office, but with a simple problem. I love oat milk, but I hated what I was finding. Most brands were watery, tasted weird, or were packed with gums, oils, and other junk I didn't want. Reading the ingredients felt like a science experiment. The problem was simple. In the race to get huge, something important got lost. The focus was on making it last forever on a shelf and making it cheap, not on making it actually taste good and be clean. The market is full of unflavored and full-fat versions, which means people want something pure and rich. But is that what they're really getting? So I started experimenting. Right here, in my kitchen, with a blender, some oats, and water. My goal was simple. Make an oat milk that was undeniably delicious all on its own. It had to be creamy, rich, and naturally sweet from the oats, without a giant list of ingredients. This is the whole idea, the secret to winning this challenge. What if we made an oat milk so good it didn't need anything to hide behind? What if our advantage wasn't a marketing trick but just the product itself? The plan is to focus on two things: process and ingredients. Instead of cheap regular oats, we would find a special kind known for being extra creamy and sweet. And instead of some crazy industrial process, we'd create a simpler, gentler method to protect the flavor. The goal is a cleaner label and a cleaner taste. So our unique advantage isn't being the cheapest or being in every store. It's about being the best. It's for the person who actually reads the ingredients. The coffee fanatic who wants a perfect latte, the person who just cares about quality. This is their one weakness. They are built for scale. We are being built for quality. They want to sell the most oat milk. We want to sell the best oat milk. And we're betting that there's a growing army of people who care more about what's in the bottle than the logo on the outside. And that's the whole mission. It's a huge gamble. So if you want to see if this obsession with quality can actually become a real product that can take on the giants, smash that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're filming everything, the wins, the fails, all of it, and you are not going to want to miss what happens next. An idea is one thing, reality is another. The path from a kitchen idea to an actual product is a minefield of challenges you never see coming. The first huge hurdle was the recipe. Making oat milk for yourself in a blender is easy. Making a recipe that doesn't turn into a disgusting, separated mess after an hour is brutally hard. The first attempts? A complete disaster. Some were slimy, some were gritty, some separated into a watery mess in literally minutes. This is where the real work started. We had to become food scientists overnight. It meant figuring out how different enzymes work to break down oat starches, not just for sweetness, but to get that perfect creamy feeling without using a bunch of fake stuff. It meant dozens of tries, testing different oats, different water levels, and different temperatures. It's an insane process of tiny changes where 1 degree can ruin everything. Then we had to find the oats. Finding the perfect oats wasn't simple. It meant calling farmers and suppliers, trying to convince someone to work with a tiny company that didn't even exist yet, asking for a special oat that wasn't just for animal feed. Every step forward revealed two new problems. We'd solved the separation issue, but then the taste was wrong. We'd fixed the taste, but the process was too complicated to ever scale up. It's a constant, frustrating balancing act. One of the biggest things I learned is that you can't do this alone. I started calling food scientists, engineers, and even other small business owners who had gone through this nightmare. Their advice was priceless and saved me from mistakes that would have set me back months. Right now, we're at a critical point. We have a recipe we believe in, a recipe that is simple, clean, and, in our completely biased opinion, tastes better than anything on the market. But it still only exists here, in this small kitchen. It's not a real product yet. It hasn't been bottled, shelf life tested, or put in front of a single customer. So, this is where we are. We have an idea born from a problem, a recipe created through countless failures, and a very clear picture of the giants we're about to fight. We've seen the massive booming oat milk market and the titans that run it. We've shown you the tiny spark of an idea that we think can win by focusing obsessively on quality. But the huge question is still there. Can we actually do this? The next steps are the scariest. We have to find a co-packer, a factory willing to bet on us. We have to survive the maze of food safety rules. We need to design packaging, figure out distribution, and somehow convince a store to give us one single spot on their shelf. Every single one of these steps is a place where we could fail. The fight ahead is long and we are not guaranteed to succeed. But the one thing we have on our side is the belief that in a $10 billion industry, there has to be room for an idea that is simply better. We're betting everything on it. This is just the beginning. The next chapter is taking this kitchen idea into the real world. Will we find a partner to make it? Will we finally get this in a bottle? To find out, you have to be here for the next episode. Make sure you're subscribed and let me know in the comments right now. Do you think a small brand can actually win on quality alone? I seriously want to know what you think. Thanks for watching.